Beckley with the Coaches Lounge with Paulette Harper. Now, I am so elated right now because this lady I've been knowing, I feel I've known her for a long time. We haven't known her that long, but I feel like she's been this true friend of mine for a long period of time. And I'm so glad. And this just shows you that networking and meeting people, you never know how those collaboration partnerships are gonna happen. And myself and this queen, because I call Lady Queens, that we have partnership in a lot of areas. She has helped me out tremendously, and I hope I helped her out tremendously because I don't want to say that she'd be like, well, Barbara, I don't know if you helped me out, so I want to make sure that it's neutral because we had to have a win-win. So I want bringing her on the show because this woman, she's a certified business coach, she's a publisher, she's a podcaster, she's an international speaker, award-winning author, and the list goes on. So I had to bring her and I asked her, I said, I want you to come to the Coaches Lounge because I know you have a lot of knowledge and expertise that you can share with the viewers under the Coaches Lounge. Because one thing I want to start this platform because I feel like the coaches doesn't get their just due. A lot of times, we interview the speakers and the authors and everybody like that. But then the coaches, those are the ones that help the speakers and the authors and everybody. So I'm so glad that you are on the Coaches Lounge. Thank you, Paulette Harper. How are you doing today?
I'm doing, excuse me, I'm doing well, Barbara. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about being on the Coaches Lounge today.
Yes. So you are the expert, you're the queen, and we're just going to go right into it because, like I always say, when I get with especially the queens that I love so much, we just have a conversation. But through that conversation, I always want to make sure we're building a relationship and you're understanding these women and men that I bring on the show. So I know just before we start, because I know you're a certified business coach, you're a creative coach, you're a podcaster, like I said, you're an international speaker, and you're a publisher, and you help other people become authors. So I just want to know, because that all didn't start just like yesterday. What made you say I wanted to grab hold of this? And then what makes you, do this for individuals in the world?
Yeah, excuse me, Barbara. So I started out just as a writer. Excuse me. I started out as a writer. And from there, other people began to ask me how to publish. And then from there, it just grew into me coaching them. And so over the years, my businesses have just, evolved around the needs of others coming to me and asking me, can you show me and teach me what you do? And so I have just been able to do that over the course of the years, go from coaching authors to wanting to help, excuse me, I'm sorry, wanting to help entrepreneurs start their businesses as well. And so that's where the business coaching came into existence. And then helping authors not only learn how to publish their books, but helping them become published authors and best-selling authors in my book collaborations as well.
Wow. So I know you said you wanted, to help because people were like, I need help with this to get pen to paper. I always tell people with their stories. Now, I know you're also a certified business coach and creative coach. So I believe that all comes into play when you're working on publishing books. So how do you kind of, sort that out with the individuals that you work with?
Yeah, both of them do come into play. When it comes to being the creativity story coach, that's the part of me that is the publishing side. So I teach authors that piece of how to become their own publisher. A lot of aspiring authors, emerging authors, they want to write their own books, their own solo projects, but a lot of them don't know how. And so those of them that don't want to invest in a coach, you'll see them going inside the different groups and Googling and YouTubing and asking all kind of questions, and they're going to get so many different answers, and it's very confusing. And so where I come in, my coaching, my story coaching, is taking them through. I have 2 programs that I offer. It is a 90-day program and then also a 6 month program. And just depending on where they are in their publishing journey and their writing journey, if they've written a manuscript and they're stuck and don't know that process, then they, will go through my 90-day program. But if they have an idea and they've never, outlined it, they don't know how to, do their chapters and get clarity on their topic, then they go through my 6 month program. So that's the story coaching. And then when it comes to the business side of it, the business coaching, I want to help entrepreneurs create their businesses, to go beyond the book. And so, in order to go beyond the book, it really is building a business from their book and having the author look at it that it's more than a book, it's more than just writing a story, you're building a business. And how do I do that? How do I set up my business structure where either I decide I'm going to be a, LLC, or a solopreneur, or whatever the case may be. I mean, and so I help them decide on those avenues to take, and how to not commingle their money and set up their business accounts, and that business side of them, that they really are entrepreneurs. And what that looks like for them, and so it's, beyond the book, because to be honest with you, we won't make, a whole lot of money selling their books, but it's in our services. And I try to get them to go beyond the book and find a service that they can offer, their clients, their readers, in a way that it's going to really take them to another level and take their readers, or, another level with them as well.
Well, I like how you said, because, with the book, because, everybody's really exciting when, especially when you get the first time authors too, because that's their really first time. But I like how you take it and say, you know what, this is just not just the book. You're writing a book that's wonderful. You're making a difference. You're showing people, you're connecting. But the business aspect, see, so I like how you package this and what your expertise is, and said, now I'll show you different ways how to maneuver and put that out there, so you can start, basically, I'm just going to put it out there, start making a profit, from that book, from beginning from that book, because it's not just the book. And like somebody told me a long time ago when I wrote my first book, they said, Barbara, it's nice, you have credibility, you're reaching out to people, but it's not going to pay your salary or what you're trying to do, because you can sell a whole bunch of books and still, but you have to use that tool, like you said, in different ways. So I love how you help individuals do that. Now, I want to read your mission, because I love how you put this. You say your mission is to help women find hope through transformation, restoration, and reclaiming their lives via workshops, conferences, and seminars. And that really stuck out to me about helping people find their hope. So I want to ask you, because I know, when you have a mission, especially with your business, you're always going back to that mission when you're doing things to make sure, you're on track. So how do you feel that vision, that mission of helping individuals concerning finding their hope and what you do?
Yeah, for me, it was because I've been there. I've been in a place where my testings in life and my trials that I had gone through left me at a place of trying to determine what my purpose was. And so once I rediscovered what God had called me to do, apart from what I had anticipated for my own life, it's really about taking that process and moving forward to rediscovering that there is hope after divorce, there's hope after loss, there's hope after any kind of test or trial that you've gone through. And so for the women that I come in contact with, it's really instilling in them and empowering them to know that there is another chapter, for their lives. There is something else that they are designed and assigned to do, and they just have to find out what that is. And so that's the hope piece. That's bringing them to a place that, what, all is not lost, that they can still find some sense of purpose for living and doing something that is fulfilling for them, and then helping them determine what that fulfillment is, and then going and trying to find how to, fulfill those purposes that God has called them to fulfill.
And I love how you take that, because I know you're transforming them just from you, first of all, going to them saying, you can do this, and you can write your chapter or book, or, either or. And I think that gives them the hope. I think it starts, like you said, it starts that process, and you walk them through it. You walk them through that.
Yeah, you talk about the transformation, and that's really what it's about. It's that transformation because up until then, they're inspired, but inspiration doesn't bring transformation. Transformation comes when you apply what you've
Mhm.
learned. And so when they can have that transformation and it can be, manifested in actionable steps that they can take to, go through a process of rediscovery or whatever the case may be. But it is about the transformation because that when you have a transformation, it's really hard to convert or to go back to the way things were because you have experiencing something new. You have new results that you are attaining. You have new goals that you've set, and that you're aspiring to do something you've never done before. So it's really the power in the transformation.
Ooh, you said it. You were right. Oh, oof, you hit that. Well,
Mhm.
especially when you said that, because once you, it's like you said, once you do that transformation, it's hard to go back because you've changed your whole like mindset, mind, soul, and body. And then to say, okay, let me go back to that. That don't even sound. I
Mhm.
mean, when you think about it, it doesn't sound right. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I like this. This is good. I needed this. I'm seeing a difference in my life. Why would I want to go back? Why would I
Yeah.
want to go back? So
Yeah.
yeah, then the healing process comes through. All that comes through that, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That's the part of bringing the hope, because you want to bring people to a place that they've never experienced before. And so, when can offer them something that they've never had before, never experienced before, and when they taste it and know
Mm.
that this is better than where they were, there's absolutely no way you would go back to that. You would keep progressing, you would keep attaining and trying to achieve greater goals and set higher standards for yourself, and move to a place, to your next level, your next dimension, whatever that is for you and whatever that looks like.
And you just, like you said, you just want to just go elevate and get more and more and more of it. Once, like you said, you got that little taste. I like that. You get a taste. Be like, I think I like this. This is
Yeah.
pretty good. This is looking good for me in my life. So
Yeah.
and that's a huge thing that you're doing. Going back to the coaching aspect of it, as being that coach. A lot of people. I know people use that word a lot nowadays. I hear that a lot about coaching, but when you're talking about transformation and
Mhm.
helping somebody get to the one extreme to the next in their lives, that is very powerful, and that's a really pivot point for being a coach. And I love how you really obtain that and what you do and what your services are. I think that's what makes the difference with a lot of the coaches, because if you don't see that transformation, it's kind of like, well, what are you really doing? Well, how are you helping them? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why people pay me to help them with the transformation, because they want to get to a certain place. When I'm doing book coaching and people are hiring me to show them how to publish, they're looking at the fact that they're going to write their book and that they're
Mhm.
going to learn how to publish it themselves, and that in itself is powerful, and it's empowering to them because they've never been there. They didn't know that they could do it. They didn't know that they could, it's deep within them as far as writing the book. But then the other part of that they don't know is the publishing side of it. And so
Mhm.
when they can get to a place where they go through the whole process and the whole program, and at the end of it, they have a book in their hands, a book that they have published, and they have become their own publisher, it brings them a sense of confidence, of power, of endurance, and then they're able to go and then help somebody else go through that same transformation as well.
Yes, it's a huge fulfilling in your life when you deal with that. And then you don't even, sometimes you don't realize it. Like you said, you're taking them through now in the back of your mind, because you're being that coach mindset. You just have like a little head of, I know this person's gonna change in some type of way. I know
Yeah.
she's gonna get this, he or she's gonna get this healing. But they have to realize it, and that's when you help them along the way. And I think that's the exciting part. I always get so excited when I see, like I tell people, when the light bulb, you can see the light bulb come in there in their mind saying they got it, or
Yeah.
that's it right there, or there's that change. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
very powerful, very
Yes,
powerful.
it is. It's very empowering.
Now I want to ask you a little bit more, Miss Queen. With the world has changed within what 2 years and a half now. We've been going through the pandemic. I'm gonna say it real low because we're not gonna put that out there. But I know there's been some challenges. Okay, I'm gonna put challenges. Because you're talking about hope now. We're not talking about not having hope. And
Yeah.
a lot of people, some of the hope, some of the people are they a little lost a little bit. A lot. I'm gonna say a lot. Some people have. Some people got a little depressed in certain areas. All that's going on, and not really understanding what step to take.
Yeah.
Should they tell their story? What should they do? They've been kind of in that mode. So, you being that coach, that business coach, that creative coach, how would you, just like one piece of advice, just one thing that you would give somebody with that type of challenge right now?
This is, there's no better time to write your story. And
Mm,
so, if people are still waiting for a perfect time, a perfect opportunity, it's never going to come, and so you have to take seize the moments that we're in, share your story, and
mm,
then, do the necessary work to get it done and get it published, because there's somebody waiting on your story. There's somebody that your story is just really going to help get them to their next level. And you want to learn how to just write your way to success. And that's really what it's about, writing your way to success. And what does that look like? Sharing your story and knowing that your story is going to make a difference in someone else's life. And, like I said, there's no better time to do it. It's just do it, get the clarity you need on the story and the topic you want to write, outline it, find somebody, a coach to help you with that process so that you're doing the right thing, and you're not spinning your wheels, wondering if you're doing the right thing. A coach will help you and give you the assurance that, yeah, you're doing the right thing, because that coach has proven themselves to you based on their own track record that they have had as well.
yeah. I did a little tip. You said, get that coach that can help you. I'm like, just pointing, just pointing. Paulette, she can do it. She can do it. She showed us. But I just had to put that out there because I just love what you do. And I see, when you see the work that you do and you put in a lot of time and you have, you care. And see, I always tell people, when you have that heart of gold and you care about people, that's how it's so easy for the transformation to come, because you have invested interest in it because you care so much. You have that heart. So I commend you for that. That's a
Thank
big
you.
big plus for you. Now,
Thank
talking
you.
about that, talk about the big plus you have because it's unique. The question I do want to ask you too, because there is a lot of business coaches out there, there's a lot of publishers, but what makes you different that the client will say, I want to choose Paulette Harper?
Yeah, when it comes to business coaching, my niche is entrepreneurs. It's taking someone that is just starting their business and helping them through that process. I try to focus in on taking from for instance, the author from where she is to being a coach, and
Mhm.
whatever her expertise is or his expertise is in that area that they've written their book. And so for me, just knowing that, it's entrepreneurs, it's business owners who are just starting out. They don't know really the ins and outs of, establishing their business. And, and I'm a prime example, for that, because, when I wrote my book, I didn't realize at the time that, I was becoming an entrepreneur. I was starting a business. It took me a minute to realize, oh, I have a business, and that mindset shift has to happen, that you're not just, writing a book, you're building a business. And what does that business look like? I have to set, my accounting structure in, I have to keep receipts, I have to do certain things that's going to make me, align my business, up correctly. So for me, it's really taking the time and the care to, really, show my clients what it is that they need to do, and then really giving them the assurance that, it can be done. And so, after the process and you go through the program and the coaching, at the end of the day, you're going to receive what you've paid me to the place where you paid me to get you to. You're going to receive that and then some.
Yes, yes. And like I said, and just adding, like you said, that heart that you have for people, that just makes it more powerful. So I see the difference, between you to sizing up to anybody else. And, and then when the end of the day, I always say is that, no, you have certain people that you touch, other coaches will, touch those
Right.
people and so on. I mean, there's 7.5 billion people in the world. I keep
Yeah.
telling people that. Why are we all trying to, they're going to resonate with you, and that's when you work
Yeah.
with those individuals. Yes, and that's where
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's how it makes it with the That's how the transformation thing happens too, because they resonate with you and what you're giving them, what you're helping them with. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. There is there are people that we are assigned to. There are people who will, use my services and come to me because they're called to me. They're assigned to me, and there are other people who are not, and I'm okay with that because I want to work with people who hear my voice, who can take, my instructions and who can apply them. I did a post one day. I said it's no greater joy for a coach to see when their client applies what they have been, taught and instructed, because you see the fruit of it. You see that they are, they're using what you've showed them, taught them, and they're applying it, and they're going to get the results out of it. And that brings a lot of joy to any coach when they see their student doing those things.
You are so right, because I know when I'm showing people on my end, when I do my coaching, and when I see them apply it, and then I see that, how it's enliven up in their lives, and they see that it works, that gets you excited as a coach. You'd be like, it's working. And you're
Yeah,
applying yourself, because that's the whole
yeah,
thing. We can, like you, and you probably had, I know a lot of clients where you can coach and tell them and explain to them and give them information and tip and all that, but they don't apply it.
yeah,
This is really important. Then you can do so much. You can
yeah,
do so much. You can
yeah,
give and say and everything else. So that's one thing, that's one thing that's a challenge sometimes with some people,
yeah,
is that they don't apply, and then they're like, okay, it didn't work. Well, you didn't apply. You didn't
yeah.
do it. I
Yeah,
gave you the tools, like you say, you gave the tools. So
exactly.
so now I want to say, this is one of my fun questions I always ask when I'm having conversations with the queens is, because you have a superpower. Every woman, and we'll say women because I'm talking to a queen right now, you have a superpower. Now I want you got a lot of them, but I need you just to say one. I know you got a lot on the list, but I need you to just talk about one that helps you with what you do and your clients.
I think my superpower really is when it comes to authors, it's really helping them see that they are capable and able to write their story, and then to really empower them to show them how to do it. And
Mhm.
so, because if I can't do that, then I'm ineffective at being an author's coach.
Mhm.
So I have to have the ability to show them that they have the words within them, they have the power within them, and encourage them enough to show them how to go about doing it. And so I think, for me, that's the edge that I have, with the authors that I've worked with, just really showing them, what, that, you have it. You have it in you. Let me show you how to pull it out of you, and then
Mhm.
how to structure your book in a way that exactly how your book is going to flow and how it's going to be structured.
Yes, awesome, awesome. See, I mean, you got a lot of superpower, but I'm loving that one because it is so important. Again, going back to the coaching, that that that's pulling, and you see it. Like I said, as you foresee things, before they even see it, because you've been there.
Yeah.
You've been through
Yeah.
with people and what they do. So, oh, I love the superpower that you have. Well, just one of them. There's, like I said, there's a lot. So now what I want to do, a queen, is I'm going to take myself down for just 30 seconds, and I want you just to leave any last, little golden nuggets that you want to leave for the viewers, and I'll be right back.
Well, I would really just like to encourage those of you who are listening and you kind of wonder if you can do this thing, if you can write your book, if you can, start your business. Let me tell you something. Yes, you can. There's no greater time to start writing. There's no greater time to, start your business because there's somebody waiting for you. What I did was I wrote my way to success. And that's what you need to do. Write your way to success. It's one story to reach one customer, one reader at a time, and you have it within you. And so, those of you who are just kind of, wondering where the resources and the finances are going to come, just do it. Just, take this first step and get your book written, and then all the resources and everything that you need will be at your disposal. It really will, but you have to do it first, and have that encouragement and be encouraged in this process. And so that's what I would just share with you, to just go ahead and do it, get started, because there's somebody waiting for you and waiting for you to shine.
Amazing, awesome, tremendous. Any kind of adjective I can think of. So, you're just great, great, Paulette Harper. And I just thank you again for coming on the Coaches Lounge show. And just give the viewers how they can contact you. And I'll make sure that that is posted when we post the interview.
Yeah, so they can contact me on my website, which is pauletteharper.com. I am on Facebook as Pastor Paulette Harper, also known as Pastor P, Twitter, IG, and then also Clubhouse as Paulette Harper as well.
So she's all over, people. She's all over. And if you miss some of that, contact me and I'll make sure that she gets your information, because that's what collaboration's all about. So again, thank you so, so much for coming on the Coaches Lounge, Paulette, and it's just giving your expertise, your wisdom, your knowledge. And, I always tell people, take those little nuggets that you receive from experts like Paulette and put it into action. Like she said, it can just sit there, just you thinking about it, but when you start putting it to action, that's when the transformation happens, as we said. So thank you so much again on the Coaches Lounge, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you so much, Queen. Bye-bye.